Hey everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Today is Thursday, September 3rd, and what a day we had in our hands. And before we jump into the day, please just make sure to like the video if you enjoy this perspective on the market, and consider subscribing and ticking the bell. You'll be notified on any future updates. So if you were watching my video yesterday, I explained that now's not the time to get complacent, and that I was starting to see signs of a potential pullback. And in my video yesterday, I said they weren't going to make it easy. So if we take a look at SPY yesterday to begin the day, you can see that we waterfalled a little bit in the morning, and a lot of people were messaging me and they were saying, you know, is this it? Is this the pullback? And I really didn't think they were going to make it that easy. And I said, what I would expect is they would potentially drop it into pre-market or after hours, and then the day would start like today, and we would see everybody thinking, oh, it's just another buy the dip opportunity. And in this case, it happened exactly that way. We saw it fading pre-market. The job numbers came out for the US, which was a beat, came in less than 1 million. So there wasn't even really any news. And that's, again, what I was expecting was the least expected outcome would happen. And we started to sink pre-market, even though the economic data was showing signs of recovery. And we just waterfalled into the beginning of the day. And you can see here on the 5-minute chart, we didn't close above EMA 26 the entire time until the end of the day. So that's when I covered my short position. At the end of the day, I was very heavy short. I took a short position yesterday my average was about 350. I took another one in the 355s, and I took another short in the 358. I was looking to potentially short the 360 level, which if you look at my videos, go to my channel, search bubble, when will the bubble pop? I said that I expected this rally to continue till 355 or 360. We hit 358, and then we pulled back significantly. So if you have been following, you would have a nice heads up. We pulled back about 4.5%, 5% from that high. So if you tune into these channel, if you tune into this channel and watch these videos, you would have had a really early heads up there. And they've been calling for 3,600 on SPY for quite some time on the Elliott wave forecast. You can see here the EMAs are starting to curl on the 5-minute. We're in a 5-minute uptrend there to end the day, and we'll just be looking for an hourly lower high. And that is definitely the most probable scenario at this point. You can see here we tested outside of the Bollinger Bands. We had support at 342.27, and that's what we held. And now, like I said, we're just getting the hourly bounce underway, and we're going to look for an hourly lower high on this potential bounce. So taking a look at Apple, I did mention that Apple was likely due for a pullback. And if we take a look at the monthly chart, we were well outside of the Bollinger Bands. And just to give you some perspective on Apple, we could have pulled back 60%, 61% on Apple, and we would still be in a monthly uptrend. So if you're buying after the split, you need to keep in mind, these are things that and this is why joining a community is a good thing. You can join our community for a 7-day free trial. After that, it's only $4.99 a month. We've got multiple eyes on the market. And these are things that you need to, if you're new to the market, then you really have to be careful, because like I said, we could pull back another 60% here and still be completely healthy long-term on the Apple chart. And we pulled back significantly today on Apple. We broke the low of yesterday. That was sign number one. And we lost EMA 12, and we potentially may find some support here at EMA 26. Potentially, we see an hourly bounce tomorrow on Apple as well with the broader market like SPY. And what gave us clues that this was potentially going to happen? So first of all, the dollar started to spike last night. So if we take a look at the dollar bounce was getting underway, and we were expecting a bounce at some point. And it came a little late, but better late than never. You can see here we bottomed out around the 91.75 level, and we hit as high as 93.07, and likely setting a daily lower high here, because we knew that that was the most likely scenario. What else? We had VIX. So VIX was up very, very big today. and a lot of people VIX was trending up while SPY was going up. So a lot of people were starting to buy insurance, but you can see on the day, VIX was up 39%. So congrats to the bulls on VIX. Big, huge move. And VIX was starting to trend up. We also had oil broke the daily rising wedge bearish. So that was another clue that we could potentially start to see some consolidation in the broader market. Bitcoin pulled back in a significant way. So these were all clues this morning that I saw, and I was confident entering bearish. And we didn't see any hourly oversold conditions on SPY. And I posted in the community this morning, basically saying, hey traders, just be careful. We broke the low of yesterday, and SPY is forming a daily inside bar. We broke the low of the day yesterday. This could get choppy, and everything started to pull back together in unison. So again, we didn't see any major sectors. So when QQQ was pulling back, first thing I did was check all of the other sectors. So the financial sector, the biotech sector, the healthcare sector, everything started to trend in one direction. And that was all systems go for, and cue the shorts, right? So on SPY, I saw that this morning we had the hourly EMAs crossing, which was a bear cross. And I knew we hadn't been oversold in a very, very long time. QQQ was at the low of the day. Tesla didn't break the low of the day when QQQ was at the low of the day. Apple didn't either. So I knew that there was some more potential downside. And I was looking for oversold hourly conditions. And we tested that support level, like I said, on the hourly, and we bounced from there. And like I said, I was expecting that hourly oversold conditions. And after a huge run up, usually 5 and 15 minute oversold, we already saw 5 minute oversold not that long ago. So taking a look at the 5 minute chart, you can see here that we were oversold on the 5 minute here a couple of days ago. And I knew that we probably wouldn't see a huge significant bounce with everything trending down. So I was looking for hourly oversold. I covered my shorts toward the end of the day. Today was the best day that I had in my entire trading career, and it was absolutely rewarding. It felt amazing because a lot of people, I'm getting criticized that, stocks only go up, blah, blah, blah. And when people start to get complacent, I don't know how many friends message me, asking me about what stocks they should buy. A friend literally said he was going to buy Apple at all-time highs. Apple had never been any higher than it was when he messaged me. The monthly RSI was at 83 and well outside of the Bollinger Bands, and that has never ended well. So anybody who has bought Apple now is basically biting their fingernails, right? They're not sure what they want to do. So I think tomorrow we potentially see a gap up, and on that hourly lower high on SPY, once we lose the 5 minute uptrend on SPY and we set an hourly lower high, I'm going to be shorting that like there's no tomorrow. And like I said, I potentially see a back test here to EMA 26 and potentially set a lower high on the daily if we do get the daily bounce going. So again, do you have a game plan? Are you just blindly entering with no stop? Do you have a stop loss? You absolutely have to be using stop losses when we're in a market like this, when euphoria is at an all-time high. And like I said, if you looked at SPY this morning and if you knew nothing else that the EMA 26 was acting as resistance, you would have held off on any bullish positions until that happened. And at the end of the day, this is whenever we got that signal, and you can see here the EMAs are crossing bullish now. So what I did was, to start the day, when we tested 345, I knew we had support on the hourly on SPY at 349. So if you take a look here, we had 349 on SPY. So I started to cover my shorts at 349, and I covered another one in 348 and 347s. And we got as low as, like I said, 345. And once we hit the 345, we were well oversold. I think the 15-minute RSI was at 13. So what I did was I flipped long. I went long Tesla and Apple, and I made about another 5 or 6% on Apple. So you can see here that it it hit a low of 120 and then 360, 3.6% on Apple, and Tesla at that time of the day went about 3.69%. So collectively amongst the two of those positions, I made another 5%. So on that pullback, I had a short position in FNGD, which is the leveraged ETN for the FANGs. And I entered that position at 775 a couple of days ago. So you can see here, I was up big on that short position. I covered that this morning as well. I was up about 15% when I covered. And yeah, we were up about 22% on the day. I also had a short position on QQQ. I was using SQQQ, and I covered that this morning. And like I said, I did enter I flipped long with Tesla, and I covered that once we lost the 5-minute uptrend on SPY. And once SPY was unable to close above EMA 26, that's when I bailed, and I just waited. I was waiting to see if we saw any buying toward the end of the day at 350, as we know bots usually queue in at that time. So again, I hope everyone had a great day, because I know today is going to be is one for the books for me. Definitely hands down my best trading day of my career. And like I said, I'm going to be queuing the shorts. I'll be looking to potentially short SPY and QQQ tomorrow on an hourly lower high. We saw, and it was hilarious too, I had a friend message me saying, buy the dip, ? And that was this morning, I believe at around 10:45 Eastern. And I said, no, this is different. The speed of these drops. So if you take a look at yesterday, we dropped, like it took all day pretty much to trend up here, and we saw this huge flush in a fraction of that time. So when I see things starting to flush to the downside, then I start to get a little cautious, right? So I said, I highly doubt this is the buy the dip that you want to buy. And sure enough, we just saw a waterfall and a straight flush for basically the whole day. And like I said, if you would have just used EMA 26 as your visual guide, you would have known not to enter any bullish positions unless you're just entering for a quick flip, like on the hourly oversold, like I did with Tesla and Apple. So hope you had a great day. Best of luck tomorrow. We'll check back in for another market update tomorrow. Take care and make sure you have a game plan, and consider subscribing if you like this content, and we'll see you on the next update tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.